Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Online Store for Restaurants. Today, I'm going to walk you through all of the steps you'd take to get up and running on Square Online Store for any type of quick service or full service restaurant. We're going to start with the full onboarding process and move on to your website design and order management. So from start to finish, we're going to go through the entire process, and we're going to have a website up and running here in about an hour. So just to contextualize all of this, we'll be walking through these steps as though I'm a real merchant setting up on the online store for the first time. In order to make this as familiar and digestible as possible, I've chosen a situation that mimics most of you in real life. I've got a quick service restaurant with a few locations in San Francisco. In order to remain open, I want to offer online ordering with curbside pickup and also delivery. We'll call it Kenny's, and we sell burgers and fries. All right, so to start the onboarding process, I'm gonna log into my Square account, and you'll be familiar with this here. This is the main dashboard anytime you log in. And over on the left-hand side here, you see the blue button for the online store. We're gonna go ahead and click that to get started. All right, next up, I'll be prompted to get started, which is definitely what I wanna do. If you were to scroll down here a little bit, you'd see a little more information, details about the online store. But for now, I want to get going. So I'm just going to click on Get Started here. All right, here I'll be asked to choose whether I want a single ordering page, great for getting set up quickly, or if I plan to build out a more robust multi-page website. We also recently launched checkout links. So if you don't need a full website or a website at all, but you want to have your buyers be able to pay you online, you can send them a checkout link via text or email where they can securely make payment. I'm going to choose a single ordering page because Kenny's needs to get up and running as soon as possible. As a side note, if I pick the one page, I can always add more pages and vice versa with the multi-page. So I'm going to select single page here, continue. All right, next up, how do you plan to fulfill your orders? So this system works for both retail and food and beverage. So you have a couple of options here. We're obviously not going to ship any food to our buyers, but I'm going to go ahead and allow for pickup and delivery. I've got an employee, that'll be making those deliveries for me. All right, so now that I've made my choices, it's going to start putting together my store here. And this is where it syncs over all of your current item library, your settings, your location information over from your main dashboard here. So once that's done, it'll drop us into the online store dashboard. And this is it right here. So we're going to go ahead and get started here right from the main dashboard. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over all these store settings here, all of the back-end work that you would do first before we get into building the website. We could absolutely go right into building the website at this point, but I'm going to set up all the back-end stuff first. So once my website's built, it's ready to go. Okay, so as you can see, everything is going to be found on the left-hand side. From here, I'm going to click Settings down at the bottom there, and that's going to open up, and we're going to go through each section here. First section being the general section here. So this is where I can set up and adjust basics like my store address, email, phone number. This takes over from your Square account. So you may not need to make any changes, but if you did, you can adjust those here. All right, next up is going to be the checkout section here. And I want to make sure I have accept online orders turned on. It's also useful to have Apple and Google Pay turned on so people can easily order from their phones or even from their computer browsers with the quick and easy touch here. No extra fees to enable these. They just work automatically with your Square Online store. All right, so if we scroll down a little bit here under checkout page and go to the advanced settings, couple important features here to point out. Typically, you'll want to allow customers to receive text message alerts. You can also turn on the leave a note to seller at checkout. That'll show up as the last step a buyer completes in the checkout flow. After making these changes, be sure to click Save in the upper right-hand corner here. So I'm doing that now. All right, so moving on to taxes. I'll scroll down to add a tax rate. Taxes currently do not sync over from Square, the Square account. So you'll have to make sure those are set up here. So I'm going to click on Setup, and I'll get the pop-up here. It'll autofill my tax rate from my store address, but I can also set tax rates for individual states if I want. I like things easy, so I'm just gonna go ahead and select automatically calculate taxes for me and save. All right, last option here is Square Sync. This is the section that allows me to control syncing of things like item photos and descriptions. In the settings section up at the top there, I could go in and adjust these. The location that is seen here is the one where you'll use as the base for any shipping orders, but we're not gonna be doing that with this location here. All right, so a couple of quick and easy things there to set up, but still really important things that you'll want to make sure you'll go over here. And most of that is going to be all pretty much set it and forget it. So once you do it the first time, not a whole lot more you need to do there. Next up, we'll go through are also really necessary if I want to be fully set up and ready to take orders. So we're going to go right on to pickup and delivery. All right, so clicking on pickup and delivery section here. I'm able to see my locations. I can toggle them on or off for pickup and delivery. They can all have different settings as well. So one location can offer pickup only and another delivery only and so forth. You can mix and match for your locations there. If you were to add any new locations in the future, they would also appear here as well. So as one website will handle multiple locations. No need to build multiple sites for multiple locations. I'm going to click edit under edit location under the SOMA address here to make some adjustments. All right, so we can see a high-level overview of the current settings, and I can click edit to adjust any of these sections. I want to make sure my hours are correct, so I'll click edit under hours here. All right, so here's my hours. Important to note, these are separate from my business hours. By default, the hours are the same for pickup and delivery, but as you can see, you can toggle those on and off here and have separate hours for those as well. As far as the business hours and pickup hours, these would be the hours you want to offer pickup while you're open. They can absolutely be the same as your business hours, but they can be different as well. Maybe you don't want to offer pickups in the first hour or the last hour of your day. You can adjust that as need be for yourself. All right, if we scroll down a little bit here, we can set our location level prep time. So this means that anything my customers order will be prepared and ready to pick up in an hour. This is the default for the whole site. You can also set item level prep times, a little bit more on that later. Once I'm done here, I can click save. And you can see we have a multiple options here for prep time, just depending on how long it takes you to cook things. Normally, as you know, quick serve restaurant an hour is going to be a long time. All right, so now I want to go into edit my delivery settings. And I can set a radius by miles or even by zip code if I want to limit it by zip code. Delivery time estimates, delivery fees, an option for minimum order amounts. Scrolling down a bit here to see the rest. I'm allowing for no contact deliveries, which lets my customers leave instructions in the checkout process for the best way to make that happen. So something like, ring the doorbell and leave it on the chair in front of the door there, something like that, right? The order will already be paid for online, so no need to, make any transaction there. All right, now going into some of the pickup setting, more of the pickup settings here. I'm gonna allow for curbside pickup, which will give my customers information on how to facilitate this, real similar to contactless delivery. I wanna allow scheduled pickups as well. This lets my customers order for a future date and time, and I can add instructions in the box if need be. My customers will see this information on the email confirmation that you receive, along with the text message if they opt in to receive those. All right, so I've saved my pickup delivery settings for each location and can always go in and adjust these settings separately in the future if need be. At the top right of the page, however, I can adjust advanced settings that will apply across all locations. I'm gonna go ahead and click that now. Here I can make adjustments to my order quantity limits because I don't want someone ordering 15 burgers and fries at once and totally throw off my kitchen flow. I can leave a note for them here if they want to place a large order. That way we can coordinate on getting that set up for them properly. Another major area of importance here is where I can enable tipping. So if you scroll down for that here, you'll see I've enabled tipping. And I can set a default amount that'll apply automatically to the subtotal of any order. My customer can always enter in a custom amount if they choose to, or elect not to tip. You can also allow it to, do not add the default tip, and they can just add one in the checkout flow if they want. I'm going to set it to 15% and save. Okay, so done with a lot of the backend store settings here. Item setup is next. So the items are going to be the products, services you want to offer for sale on your website. All right, so again, going to the main settings here on the left-hand side, we're going to go to the items and item library. The great part about online store is that it already syncs over all of your items, much like it did with all your store settings there that you had set up in your catalog. I'm going to click here to select the items I want to display online. If need be, if I didn't have any items, if you're new to Square and setting up first time, you can see there's a create new item option in the upper right-hand corner here. All right, so we're going to select the items you want to add to your online store. And so what that means is you can have a store that sells only specific items. Maybe you have an item library of 100 items and there's only maybe 25 that you want to sell online, and you want to sell everything in your store. You can absolutely do that here. Right now, I only have 16 items. You can see everything selected. If I wanted to not sell some of these items, I could uncheck the boxes here and those would not be included in my online store there. So I'm going to go ahead and just everything here I want to sell. I'm just going to click select all and next. All right, so all my items are synced over, and now I've clicked into one of my items here, and we can go into you can see the details here for each specific item. Here I can adjust the description, the name of the item. I can also adjust the image, and you can also see the options I have for visibility. So I'm going to go over that here. You can see visibility. So visible means it can be seen and purchased on my website at all times. Hidden means it cannot be seen on the site in my general ordering area, but it can be purchased via a link or a separate page. Like maybe you have a special item or a hidden item. Maybe only you want specific people to be able to see that. You could hide it from your main shopping page. Not unavailable means cannot be seen or purchased at all online. So again, that would be like if those items you didn't want to sell online, but you did want to sell in store, you would mark those unavailable. All right, so if we scroll down here, we can see the fulfillment method has set for pickup and delivery according to what we did earlier in the onboarding. And here you can see I can also set up a specific prep time for an item. So if you have an item that maybe everything you cook takes about 15 minutes, but if you have one that's maybe you need 30 minutes, you could set that one to 30 minutes. And if it gets ordered with all the other food, then the prep time automatically changes to 30 minutes for everything. That way you're not just cooking you're not letting your customers know it'll be ready in 15 when you have an item in there that takes 30 as well. So they can always coexist, individual prep times and your overall store prep time. It'll just always default to the longer one. All right, so categories. Categories, you can set up categories on your Square dashboard, but those are a little different than your website categories. The website categories are more just the way you want to display them on your site, so those don't sync over. So we're going to go ahead and create some here. I'm just going to simply add category here. All right, so here you can say I can add a title, I can add an image to the category if I wanted to. Not really necessary in this case. I'm going to click choose items to start picking the items I want under my burgers category. All right, so I'll be prompted here showing all of my items. If you keep scrolling down, you'll see the rest. I'm going to select all the burgers I want in the category here. All right, so I'm not going to bore you with setting up multiple categories here. You can see it's pretty straightforward. Those can be adjusted at any time and even deleted or add new ones at any point as well. All right, so done with creating categories. You can see I've got burgers, sides, beverages. And so really the items I want to sell online are ready to go. So now we're going to go into designing the website, and we're going to be live and taking orders here pretty soon. All right, so kind of going into the final stage, the website setup. We've done all the back end work that no one really see there. And now we're going to go into the public facing part, which is the website. So we're going to click on the website tab on the left-hand side to get there. All right, so we can see the edit site button here, but before we go into there, want to go into the general settings here. A good section to be familiar with. You can adjust your site address, change the site title. It usually defaults to my site just as a placeholder. So you definitely want to change that. You can see I've changed my site title to Kenny's Burgers. That's what you'll see in the browser tab or when you save it to your bookmarks. And if you scroll down, you can see a couple other major settings here. You've got the option that if your site was published and you wanted to unpublish it for whatever reason, you can do that here. And then we can see the reset to default. And that's if I want to start over with my website design. This does not reset the item library or categories, any of that. Just the actual designing of the website gets you started to the starting point again. So scrolling back up and then click Edit Website. All right, so again, another onboarding process here. We're gonna try to walk you through as much of this as possible to make it as easy as possible for you to get up and running quickly, okay? And so because of my previous selections, because in my account I had set up as, food and beverage, it's trying to go ahead and set something up for me here, showing me some food images and things like that. And you can actually pick from items here on the left-hand side. These can all be added at any point inside the builder as well. So no need to sweat this too much here. I do want to drop my Instagram feed on my page. I'm going to add that. All right, so clicking next. Next up, I'm going to be prompted to add my business's logo. I'll go ahead and upload that from my photos. If you don't have a logo right now, no need to worry about that. You see, you can skip that. It'll just be text there. So you can see right now, before I've uploaded, it just shows Kenny's Burgers there. That'll be replaced with my logo. So again, any of that can be changed later on. All right, logo is uploaded. Now here, I'll select my font and color scheme and click Finish. Now through the initial onboarding flow, it's gonna take us right into the editor. All right, so here we are in the main editor. The first thing we see here is a prompt to select a domain name. I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm gonna set that up once we're ready to publish. So I'm just gonna exit out of that, or X out of that. All right, so now here we are in the builder. And there really is three main areas on the builder. On the left side is your edit panel. This has all the sections that are currently on your website, or you can add sections as well. Then to the right center here, you have a preview of how the site looks. And you can also make edits to your text by just clicking on it. At the top, you have a toolbar that lets you switch between mobile and desktop view and add entirely new sections and pages, items, categories. Upper right, blue is the publish button that you'll click to make your site live for the very first time. And then anytime you make major updates to your website, you'll click publish there to make those go live. You can see I have my mouse over the main banner area here, since it's highlighted in blue. I can click into that section or any section and adjust it. For example, if I click into this banner, I can adjust the layout, the headline here, the Poke All Day, I can change that. The action button here, the order now button, I can change that as well, or the section style. When I started out, you remember that I selected a one-page site, which is what we have here, a single home page that we can add sections to. And sections are blocks of content layouts that you can add and customize. Within each section is a set of pre-designed layouts. So when building your website, you have an endless combination of sections, layouts, page styles that you can put together to design your website. All right, so now back to building. I'm gonna click in the upper left-hand section here where it says home. And here I have a drop-down of any and all pages that my site is made up of. Being that we have items created and categories as well, those all have their own pages that are automatically created. And we can use those to build out our website as well. What I want to pay attention to here is the one that says order online. So this is our default ordering page, made to be real simple, easy to use, and best of all, already pretty much built out for speed to launch. So I'm going to click on that here. And so here it is, our online ordering page that is ready to go. With all of the pre-work that we did earlier, importing our items, setting up categories, we could publish this page and we'd be ready to take orders immediately. I already have, for Kenny's Burgers and Fries, I already have a nice informational website set up somewhere else, but I don't have online ordering there. So really all I need is a place or a page for my customers to go and place an order right now for curbside pickup or delivery, and to be able to make those payments online, because I don't want to be taking payments in person and want to limit the amount of contact right now. This page will take care of all of that. So the main banner area is currently the black background and the default announcement banner text, both customizable or even removable altogether. I'm going to click into the text and just type over it, and then we'll add an image. All right, so I've typed in my text here, and now I'm going to add an image under my section style here. I'm just going to click image because right now it's set to a color. So I'm going to click image here. And here I have the option to add an image, so I'm going to click on that. And you can also see the section height. You can see the section height right now outlined in blue. If I wanted to make that bigger or smaller, you can see the different sizes there. All right, so clicking add image. Get prompted here to upload an image. We also have a free photo section here that's full of professional photos in partnership with a company called Unsplash. Really nice professional photos, all royalty free. Okay, so I've added my image, and now it's looking pretty good. The images of my food are looking really sharp. I'm going to click preview here to see it without the sidebar here. I'm clicking preview up there. All right, and so here's a preview of the website as it would appear on a desktop. I'm going to click on the little phone icon up top there to see what it would look like on a mobile device. And here you can see our iPhone emulator here showing what it would look like on a mobile device. Nothing extra, no extra work you need to do to make your website mobile friendly. That's automatically built into the program, understanding that a lot of orders and a lot of online shopping is done from a mobile device. I mean, over 50% of purchases online are coming from a mobile device. So absolutely necessary to have that built into your website. We've already got that taken care of for you here. Upper left-hand corner, you can see the share button here. You could actually, since our website's not live, I could click share here and get a link, a temporary link to my website that I could share with friends and family, so they could take a look at the website before I go live and maybe give me some feedback on it. So I'm going to go ahead and click back on to desktop here and click close preview. And now we're back into editing the website. Now, matter of personal preference here, but now, if you're counting, we have two pages. This one and the original homepage where we started. I just need this one. Again, I have a website already built with just information about my business and contact info, but I just need to add an online ordering page. So I'm going to get rid of the other one to make sure no one lands on that page. I just want this one to be its own freestanding page. I'm going to click on this little gear icon here. I'm going to make this my home page. And so that's going to be home. But now we essentially have two. So I'm going to get rid of the other one here. I'm going to click on page order online in the upper left there and go back to the other home page here, the one that we started with. I'm going to click on the little gear icon here, and I'm going to click on delete page. And once I do that, then all we're left with is our online ordering page. And same here. So same on this page here. If I click into the body of it, which is essentially a section, I'll be prompted to make any adjustments on the left-hand side here, just like any other standard page. I could remove the category links. I could, if I didn't want to show prices right on this page, I could click to remove the item prices, the descriptions. If I didn't want to show images, I could do that as well. So it's pretty customizable here. I like the way it looks, so I'm just going to let it be, and we're going to go into publishing now. So I'm going to click on the blue publish button in the upper right-hand corner. All right, so here is where I'm again prompted to select a domain to publish to. Again, I already have a domain name somewhere else. I'm just going to use a Square subdomain name here, and I've set it to kennysburgers.square.site. If it wasn't available, it would let me know, and I'd have to change it to something else. But it's published, and it's live, just like that. And so your other options here are find a custom domain name, which would mean register a domain name that's not already registered, if you wanted to make that your primary address, or use a domain you already own. Say you maybe were thinking of a business and you thought ahead and registered a domain name that's just been sitting there, and now you want to put it to use, you would use that option to connect it to this website and make that your address. But again, I already have a website up and running. I just need this address here. It's all secure, so good to go here. So Next up here, site's ready and live. All right. So I'm going to that. I'm going to kennysburgers.square.site. And you'll notice here, the first thing that happens is you get a pop-up. And this is the location model. Being that I have 2 locations, you as the buyer will need to select the one you want to order from first so that you know where you're picking your food up from. And so that order gets routed to the correct kitchen. Now, being that I have 2 locations, once I click the one location, it's going to show me a menu there. I could technically have 2 different menus, one for each location. They would only see those items for that location here. So I'm just going to select the location for pickup. And so it shows me again the menu here and all of my categories. I can click on sides or beverages and it'll scroll down to the section here. You can see all my details, my address, the address, what time we're offering pickup until, and then my prep time. So that's letting people know any order you place right now, it's going to be ready in about an hour. Maybe we're just super busy right now. Again, if we were to slow down, I could change that prep time. All right, so again, I mentioned at the beginning, we're going to go through the entire process here. So we've gone through onboarding, setting up your items, setting up that free checkout page, and now we're going to go through the checkout flow. So this is what your customers would see when they're on your website making a purchase. All right, so I'm going to go back to the site here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just add a burger to the cart here. Adding the brunch burger. You can see my modifiers have transferred over as well. I'm going to order my burger medium with no mustard. Adding to the cart here. And now you can see on the right-hand side here, we've got the little pop-out cart. And it gives me a lot of options here. I can adjust the amount of items. I can add 2 burgers if I wanted to. If I had multiple items, I could adjust those as well or even remove them. I can confirm my pickup date and location. You can see the tip is already there. You can change it there if you need, if your customer wanted to. And then again, we turn on curbside pickup. So you can see here, I'm requesting curbside pickup. And now I've got a box here, for you to fill out. You might be my customer to fill out. Let me know, what kind of car you're going to be in so I can bring out your food right to you. So everything looks good here. And you can see, being that I'm on Google Chrome, it's offering me the option to purchase with Google Pay. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to go right through the standard checkout flow here. So clicking checkout. All right, going to the checkout page here, where at the beginning, pretty standard here, entering my information, right, name and email and phone number and all that. And then on the right-hand side, I've got all of my total here, subtotal, no fee obviously for in-store pickup, the tip amount and taxes, and then my complete order total here. And then you can see the store pickup information here. Again, confirming that information, that's all good there. I didn't add anything in the curbside earlier, but again, it prompts you here as well. That would have carried over. And since we turned on schedule pickups earlier, you can see there's the option here to schedule for later. So let's say, Kenny's Burgers doesn't open until, noon, and I take my lunch at 3. I could go onto the website at noon, place my order for pickup at 3 o'clock, right? So I can pre-order it, and the kitchen won't get it until my order's going to be coming up to get ready to pick up. So you can schedule that for ahead of time as well. And as I add my payment information here, it will prompt me to save that information if I want to save it for later to make checkouts even faster. So your loyal customers who order regularly from you, once they start ordering online, it's going to be a much easier process because their payment info will be stored, making it for even faster here. So clicking next. Again, there's the payment information. It's saved for me. And then there's the note to seller that we turned on earlier. I could put anything in there, hey, add extra onions if it's free, or make sure no mustard. Maybe I'm allergic to mustard, right? Just putting a note here, hey, Kenny, thanks for offering curbside pickup. I'm glad to be supporting local business here. So I'm going to go ahead and complete order here. All right, so order is complete, and that just triggered a couple things. Number one, an email to me as the business owner letting me know I have an order. Also an email in the form of a receipt to the buyer, and if opted into text messages, a text message as well confirming the order. This will automatically print to my kitchen printer if I have that set up as well. And the way that works is, let's say my order is, my pickup time is 1 p.m. and my prep time is an hour, then the kitchen ticket will print at noon, giving me that hour to prep it, or whatever your prep time is. If it's 15 minutes and the order's for pickup at 1 p.m. and you have a 15-minute prep time, it'll print at 12:45, giving you that 15 minutes to prep the order. All right, so now it's up to me and my staff to get your order ready. All right, so up and running, website's up and running. My customers are placing orders. Where do I manage those? What do I do with those orders now? We'll go into order management next. Okay, so from the online dashboard here, you can see I've got my orders section here, and there's the order I just placed. I can click into it. I could cancel the order if I wanted to. I can mark it as ready. I can just see any more details in there. You can also, from the Square dashboard, there's an orders tab in there as well with the same information. I placed a couple of orders here just to compare. You can see we've got one for pickup, and then I'm also going to offer some retail items like t-shirts, Kenny's t-shirts that people can purchase if they wanted me to ship them to them. Like maybe I have an out-of-state fan that wants a t-shirt. You can do that as well. Now, most of you are probably using the Square point of sale, maybe like on an iPad or something like that. And this is mostly where you live. You can manage those orders from there as well. You can see the orders tab here, and you can see our current orders, and you can click into an order, mark it as progress, mark it as complete. You can see all of the details there. So again, you can manage it in multiple ways here. All right, so that's the Square Online Store start to finish. But up until now, we've been working in what's been the online ordering layout, which works great for my situation, right? I have an existing website. I just need a single page for people to place orders and make payment. But there are some other website options that let you build out a more robust site, or maybe you want to add just more information. We're going to see that here in the editor now. All right, so if we go back to the beginning where we had that single homepage to start with, if you don't have an existing website and want to set up a more traditional style layout website, then this is perfect for that. I'm going to build out a page using a featured menu item section to display our favorites, plus an About Us page, our Instagram feed, and an email newsletter sign up. So I'm going to click the Add button in the upper right and then add the section. I'm selecting featured menu items. And you can see it's kind of already pre-filled out to show you what that would look like. I'm going to choose my menu items here from the left-hand side. And I selected my items, and here they are. Right, I've selected my top 4 selling burgers. You can add as many items as you want here. The section will just keep growing. The button to explore our menu is linked to that online ordering page from earlier where all of my items are listed. All right, so I'm going to click done here, and I'm going to add some more sections. All right, so I built out the page by adding other sections and customizing them a bit. And here you can see on the live site here, our featured menu item section. I just clicked in there, and you can see I can order from there as well. No problem, same like the online ordering page. And then so here is the standard page I built out, fully using the different sections, and then look at, and if you look at the footer, I have all our social media links. I have both styles of pages on the live site for you to see at kennysburgers.square.site. Feel free to use them as a template while building out your website if you like. You don't have to use either. It's not an either or. You can use both if you wanted to. They work great in conjunction with each other. Using a standard page will let you show off more design elements, and linking to the online ordering page via buttons or different sections works out really great. All right, so that's the end of the presentation. As you can see, we started brand new as a Square customer, onboarding into the online store, had all our items set up. Now, your experience might be a little different. Maybe you don't have all your items set up. Maybe you don't have images for your items set up yet, things like that. No worries. You can always make adjustments later. I would worry about more just getting a website up and running for your customers to be able to make purchases, and then you can adjust on the fly as need be. As always, you can go to squareup.com for more resources. We also have a YouTube channel that has a ton of how-to videos in there that goes into more detail into different sections of it. always welcome to visit that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and good luck in building your website. Have a great day.